But one of the things about when we find ourselves kind of stuck in life, hey, I've been doing this, I've been trying this, and it just doesn't seem to be working. The results are the same no matter what I do. Well, have you ever heard the quote where it says you have to give up to go up? Sometimes when we think about changes in our life, this is what we think about. I've got to add something. I got to start doing something new. I've got to start this new habit, or I got to read this new book or whatever. But oftentimes it's not about what you add or what you have to add to your life for the change. Many times the greatest change in our lives comes from learning what to give up. So tonight I want to share with you a few things that we need to give up, and one thing we never need to give up on for us to be able to go up. First thing I want us to think about that we need to give up is this, is the story that we tell ourselves about ourselves. We do that each and every day. It is a narrative that goes in our head over and over and over. And we can say this, hey, I've been trying this, I've been doing this and all of that, and things just don't seem to be working out. And our mental attitude, what we think about ourselves, how we think, whether it's positive or negative, has an incredible impact on our lives. And I want to challenge you, maybe it's time just to give up the story that you've been telling yourself in your head day in and day out, because that is the lens that we're living our life through. And so here's a little exercise on giving up our story, is this. I want you to write down your thoughts, because when you write down those thoughts on paper, oftentimes some things become very clear to you when you write those down. And then I want you to do this, is I want you to think about, I want you to see in your story, what is one lie? What is one thing that you may be telling yourself, one thing that's been discouraging you in your story, and identify that and say, you know what? No more. I'm giving that up in my story, and I'm going to start being the person I really believe I can be. I love this quote from John Maxwell. He says, your thinking, more than anything else, shapes the way you live. It is true that if you change your thinking, you can change your life. So, hey, step number one to give up to go up is give up your story that you tell yourself. The second thing I want to challenge you to give up is this, is stop waiting for the right time. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what, the right time's never going to happen. When we wait for things to be perfect, when we wait for things to be just, hey, I want to get these things checked off my box, I'm going to tell you what, the right time almost never comes. I want to challenge you to give up worrying about the right time, and I want to challenge you to make the time right for you to change today. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about the pieces and parts that have to fall in line. Give up on the right time. So here's what I want you to do. Here's a little exercise on giving up on the right time. Is I want you to take a moment, and I want you to ask yourself, what needs to be improved in my life? What needs to be changed in my life? What needs to be reworked? What do I need to let go of? And then this is what I want you to do. I want you to make a plan on either how to improve it or how to give it up, how to rework it. And then here's the important thing. Once you make the plan, then begin to work the plan. I'm going to tell you what, it is great to have all kinds of these desired effects in our life. But until we take action, we never see change. So it's time for us to give up waiting on the right time and make the time right now right for us to become the person that we think we can be. The third thing I want you to think about giving up is this, is giving up the request that a lot of people have for your time. Your time is very important. Now, there are some things that are beyond our control. Some meetings, some things that happen, some things that go on in our family, we just can't give them up. I understand that. That I'm not saying everything, say no to everything. I'm just saying guard your time. One of the best things we can do sometimes to help us to become better is that not that we have to say yes to everybody, because at the end of the day, a lot of us like to be people pleasers. We like to be the fixer, right? We like to come in, see a problem, fix the problem, and do all of that. But I want to challenge you, sometimes the very best answer you can say when somebody asks you for something, sometimes the answer is no, because you need to guard that time for yourself. So here's the exercise I want you to do. I want you to make sure you put on your calendar some time for you to be able to grow, for you to be able to learn, for you to be able to listen to something new, a time specific for you. And I want you to guard that like any other important meeting, phone call, follow-up that you need to have on your calendar. You set aside that time, and you know what? Give up giving your time away. and make sure you take that time that you don't give away and use that to improve yourself to become the person that you want to be. The last thing that I want you to give up is this, is I want you to give up thinking about short-term results. I'm going to tell you what, when we think short-term in this business, it will eat us up. Hey, I made one phone call and nobody responded. Hey, I did one business opportunity and nobody says they're interested in the business. I'm going to tell you, if we look just at short term, what happens today, what happens this week, what happens this month? If we only look in the short time, what we're going to do is this, is we're going to sell our future short. I heard someone say this before. We often overestimate what we can do in 3 years and underestimate what we can do in 30. Some of the greatest success stories are not overnight successes. Most overnight successes turn into what we know as one-hit wonders, right? Man, one great song and nobody knows that band ever again, right? So I want you to give up thinking short term, okay? Because listen, in this business, some weeks are awesome. And some weeks you're like, what am I doing here? Okay? Think long term. So here's an exercise I want you to do. I want you to write down some goals and I want you to think in increments of 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 18 months, and 24 months. Listen, we're not all going to be a success in 3, but it's when we consistently go after it. So I want you to give up those short-term thoughts, that short-term mindset, and start thinking, hey, not who I am right now, but who can I be 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, go out to a year. Who can I be? And think in more long-term thinking, long-term mindset. Now, I've asked you to think about giving up 4 things, right? But there's one thing I want you to never give up on, and that is never give up on yourself. Never give up on yourself. Never stop trying to get better. Never stop trying to improve. Here's the deal. The things that are in our life, if we really want something, if we will really go after it, most of the time, we're going to get very close to achieving that, right? Now, again, I'm never going to be a horse jockey. I can dream that I want to be a horse jockey. I can study about that. But I'm going to tell you what, you're not going to put a 290-pound guy on the back of a horse and race him in a horse jockey. You got to be realistic, understand that. But man, don't give up on yourself. Don't short circuit your dreams because you're willing to give up. Don't give up on yourself. So as we kind of wrap up tonight is this. I want you to think about, there are some things that you need to give up in order to go up. When we change in our life, it's not always that we add something to it. Sometimes the greatest change and the most beneficial changes in our life come from our willingness to give up the right things. And then make sure we hold on to that one thing, that we believe in ourselves, we believe in who we are and who we're made to be, and that no matter what, nothing is going to stop us, nothing is going to keep us back, because I'm still going to get up each and every morning and I'm going to get after it. I'm going to do my best. Whether I get a great result that day or I don't get a great result that day, I'm still getting up and I am going to believe the best about who I am and who I can be. I hope that encouraged you. I hope you'll spend some time going through those exercises this week, and I hope you will become a better person in that process.